what sort of prompted me to do this, because I got errands to run today to move, but has to do with light bulbs. My intuition led me to a guy by the name of Bill Donahue that has a webpage called hiddenmeanings.com. And I was just blown away by what I found, particularly when you've done any research and study with the Mayans and the Mayan calendar, right? And the ending of the calendar, of course, they didn't take into consideration the first year, so 2013 was graduation. But he showed a picture of what was carved out in wood in the Mayans. I forget how long ago it was, 600, I believe it was, AD. That was an exact duplicate when you match it up to a picture of John Glenn inside of a space capsule, almost to the specification of it. And one of the things that this guy prophesized is that the changes that were going to come in December of 2012 as a result of, and of course, the combustion motor's got to run up again. Here I was thinking, you know what? Wait until this guy's motor doesn't start up again to do this video. And I thought, well, what do you bet that the artificial intelligence is connected to the mind of that individual that knows that I'm going to do this video is going to kick his motor on so that I can't finish this, and my train of thoughts are not going to be conveyed on this video. This is how it works. I'll give you an example. There is a big difference between a judgment and an observation. Okay? When we're in observer mode, like from say a scientist point of view, I'm collecting data. That's really what it is. So when I observe something, okay, which means I'm not thinking about me, I'm looking at the effect, if you will, the cause and effect, the behavior. What is the impact of what the mind of that being is doing, and why are they doing what they're doing? Okay? This is going to directly tie into the Mayan prophecy in 600 AD, where nature was going to rise up. Okay? And that is exactly true. That's why when Patty mentioned to me, and I knew this, that she took the gloves off. Which essentially means, listen, if you've got a light bulb and you've burned out your filament, which means you've been exposed to too much negative current, what happens to your bulb? You ran out of light. So what happens is the balance between the light and the dark means we're running in a black hole side of things, which is heavier density. So we can measure that by the damage that's been done to the light that's in this planet. Okay, so that means the light, the great living spirit that is in that light, which is Mother Earth, is going to protect her children, which is everything that is in here, that is nature, that is being destroyed. Okay, as a result of burned out light bulbs. Okay, that's why it was so important to restore the light within your heart and your soul and your spirit in order to start producing more light, which is more love and service to humanity. And in a very real way, when we talk about a separation between the timeline, that's a separation between those whose light bulb is lit and those that represent the negative energy to put other people's light bulbs out are going bye-bye, which is lower density. They're negative current. We got too much negative current in here. So how do you restore negative current? Restoring more positive current. That's what the light does. That's what we are. Okay? I suggest if you want, take a look at that website, hiddenmeanings.com. There's an enormous amount of wealth and knowledge that Bill Donahue has used through a lot of his, how you can sort of break down, if you will, on the Bible. See, for me, because I was raised in a Christian home, there are things that I know that are true, and there are things that I know that are not true because they're based on fear. Okay? Or what I call control. Okay? Like the idea that we're all sinners. So if we go to church every Sunday, I guess we're relieved of our responsibility, okay, of the bad things that we do to others. So one of the great things that he does is he sort of breaks down the math and the physics and the quantum light, with the pineal gland, the heart, and the chi, which is the life force energy, in sort of the way that Jesus, if you will, who was a teacher, okay, he represents a particular bloodline family. But when you think of crystalline, what is a crystal? It holds data. It holds light. The data is held within the light. Christ is crystalline, okay? So when you think of a crystal, like a quartz crystal, it holds data. It transmits information because the crystal is holding that data like it's holding it in memory, okay? So what's known about the 12 stargates, if you will, what's known as the crystal grid, okay? The crystalline grid, crystals, like in all the crystals, an emerald, right? Remember the like chandeliers that are made of prisms, and you see the different cuts, the different angle, and the angle represents essentially a different perspective, an angle of perspective of light. So when you begin to realize how the rotation and the spin of the particle, based on the angular way in which light is reflected through the crystal, that's like why, for example, salt crystals that you put into your body, for example, there's a particular salt that I mentioned before, which is called salmiak, S-A-L-Y-M-I-A-K, also known as Nushadar. To the Scandinavians, it's known as God salt. That will help kick on what is known as the third pole, okay, which is positive, positive, positive current, which creates a tesseract, which is a hypercube, outside time. Now you teleport, now you self-repair. So using that salt and being in a place where you're not being hit with a lot of negative current, okay, like all the Wi-Fi and the microwave and the rest of that stuff, and you're in a place where there are no signals, and you have a proper absorption rate of calcium, magnesium, potassium, and sodium ions with that particular salt, because of the way that ammonium chloride, which is really what it is in the chemical name, means that when you're using binary or artificial intelligence, okay, to create something in a lab, it's not the same way that a state of consciousness, which means the consciousness of the girl on the planet, through manifesting the living light energies that she is through living magma, when she's producing what is called a volcanic sublimate, then that salt crystal is produced through consciousness, analog. So when you look, for example, at the crystalline structure of Nushadar or salmiak salt, you'll notice that the crystalline structure and the way that light hits it in your physical body is not going to be the same activation when it comes out of a lab. So, for instance, you don't want to buy ammonium chloride, okay, from a laboratory using artificial intelligence, which is binary. That's not trinary consciousness, which is analog, okay? So this is how you go, as I mentioned in a previous video, going from binary to trinary, because everything in nature is trinary. The girl on the planet is trinary, okay? Base 9. So the DNA assembly that represents what I am, which was created by her, is what allows me to have a relationship with her spirit, because my pineal gland is fully open, my heart is fully open with a powerful vortex, and my soul and my spirit has a spiritual communication relationship with everything that is in nature. So I have a relationship with nature, okay? Most people have burned out bulbs and do not have a spiritual relationship with the spirit in the planet. And the evidence of that is by the data that we collect in looking at the quality of the air, the quality of the soil, the quality of the water. And that's why we have such a level of toxicity of the input and the output side of when we release the waste stream. Remember? Pure energy in, waste stream out. Every time we breathe in and breathe out, carbon dioxide is the waste product. Okay? So the more we understand the input and the output of the energy that we are using to experience who we are when we're running bright bulbs as a powerful magnetic light amplifier, then we're all using our energy in ways in which we could all thrive in nature. right? So I wanted to share that because I thought it's not a coincidence that all of a sudden I'm led to that particular video in which all of a sudden I go to hidden meetings and I see the carving that you can match up almost to the spec of the picture of John Glenn and why it was that in 2012 that nature was going to rise up against us. Okay? Which basically means we're done killing this planet. Okay? Killing off nature. The biosphere. Our own life support system. Remember? Why would we do that to ourselves? Too much negative exposure. Not knowing the difference between what love is and what fear is, and living in fear of what love is because of so much trauma. So we got to get the light back up, restore the light, restore the love, and love and service to others. Then we're automatically attracting more of what we are, which is what the light is. And then when we're in that mode, what happens? Everybody's using their energy for the benefit of everybody, which means we all thrive. That's the direction that we're heading in. So naturally, I want everybody to be able to experience what that is, right? But that's not up to me because everyone takes their own journey. It's a journey that is within ourselves that represents what we do on the outer side. The input and the output. The inner us, the inner soul, okay, and how we relate to everything else that is in the cosmos. The relationships that we have with everything else that is aware. So when those relationships are positive and we're giving love and service to others, that's a reflection in the mirror of who we are. Because we will experience that back when the waves are in harmony in a bidirectional echo chamber of that sound, vibration, and light. Right? Basic stuff. Anyway, have a great day. Sun's up. The energies feel good. So I hope you're all feeling good. Having a great day. Aloha, lana kea.